Hey guys, Dr. Jason Cahill here, and I am with my esteemed colleague, Dr. Megan Kennedy. And what we decided to do is every few weeks we want to put out a different video with different adjustments or adjusting for different reasons. A lot of people think that a chiropractic adjustment is just for lower back pain or just for headaches. But actually, when Dr. Megan first started here just over a year ago, she had other issues going on, and it was actually with her shoulder, arm, and neck. So, Dr. Megan, if you want to let them know, what was the problem going on?
So I was having a lot of posterior rib pain, a lot of scapular pain. It would get really dull and achy. When it was bad, it would go all the way down my arm into my hand. I never lost strength in it, but my hand felt really weak. It also go up into my neck and create headaches.
Yeah. So a lot of you can sympathize with this. You've had similar issues, symptoms, a lot of times chronic as well. And so when Dr. Megan first came on with the team, we did a full examination, just like we do with you guys, x-rays, neurological exam, consultation. We really found out what the cause is. And for her, we found that, number one, you should have that curve, and she didn't have much of a curve at all, but she also had this chronic rib subluxation and misalignment that was then causing all this tension underneath the scapula as well. And so once we figured out the cause, we were able to really get specific with how to correct it and not just give it a rack you, crack you, or a quick fix. And so you started in February of 2019. How often do you have that shoulder pain, headache, that kind of stuff?
Almost never.
Almost never. So how long has
once
it?
in the last 6 months, and that was a really bad one, but we got it taken care of really quickly.
Yeah.
So flare-ups happen, but.
So it just shows if you can figure out where the cause is, and then you start to have the time and the force and the repetition to correct it, symptoms say, okay, I don't need to be here anymore because you fixed the problem. And so what I want to do is just walk you through an adjustment that we do with Dr. Megan on a pretty regular basis just to keep everything, and this is actually what started to fix it as well. All right, guys, so we don't just adjust symptoms because a symptom is just your body's way of saying help. So what we really focus on is full spine, get to the cause, like we said. And so even though it was shoulder, neck, and headaches, we're still going to start at the bottom and work our way up because your pelvis is like the foundation to your home. And so right away, just because we're back in adjusting, she's got a short right leg, which coincides with this rotation in her pelvis. So we pop the drop table up, which is great for a lot of people. And it just drops like that. For a lot of people that sit or stand for long periods of time, that pelvis can get very misaligned. After doing that, we recheck, and she's almost perfectly even with those legs. And so that just showed that we were right on that subluxation. Now moving forward, or moving up the spine, where we found was her biggest area of concern was right in the middle of her back between the shoulder blades. And so we worked diligently on getting that motion back. Good. Beautiful. Now another thing that we found with Dr. Megan is a lot of people don't realize is your ribs start way up here and they wrap around and go underneath your clavicles right there. It's called your first rib. And so what we found with her is adjusting the ribs on that left side have been extremely beneficial because when those were subluxated and misaligned, it was also causing all these adhesions underneath her scapula. So we come up on that first rib, bring her over, and one more. There we go. Now I'm going to have her bring her arm behind her back. We've also started to use the arthrostim. This acts like a jackhammer to break up all these adhesions in this concrete underneath. Your scapula should glide over the ribs, but when she's bad or when she was chronic, this was just stuck, and that puts a lot of pressure on that subscapular nerve and creates a lot of other issues going into the shoulder girdle. This, by the way, is an amazing tool. There's a lot of people, we have different attachments, different settings, depending on what area of the body. This is an amazing tool to utilize, especially for people that maybe are a little scared of the chiropractic adjustment, when we don't want to go as deep, but it also allows us to be very specific. I love this thing. And so we use this on a lot of patients in a lot of different areas. Perfect. Arm down, and then I'm gonna have you just flip over onto your back. So what we found with Dr. Megan is she carries a chronic subluxation and misalignment in her lower left cervical. So when that misaligns like that, it puts pressure on the nerve. It creates a tension in the musculature as well. Those are also the nerves that go all the way down the arm. So when you pinch on the nerve up here, that's what can cause a lot of that radiation, pain, tingling, and numbness going down the arm. And so for Dr. Megan, we do adjust her neck manually. It's very light and quick. And then I like to end with a bit of traction to open things up. And then the last thing, come down this way a little bit there. The last thing is for her, especially with chiropractors, we're tending to roll forward. For you guys that are at a computer a lot, rolling forward. So we like to use the drop table to just open up the chest. And one more. Good. Now the last thing, I want you to sit up facing that way. So like I said before, this is a great tool and great technique for a lot of different areas of the spine, different joints, especially when we're trying to restore that proper cervical curve in her neck, which we've done a good job with. How much of that curve has come back so far?
Like 50 or 60% of it.
So far, we're still working on this, but she said she's got about 50 to 60% of her curve that came back that she had lost before. And this is a big reason. So we have her tuck, and I come right down into that lower cervical and bring her straight back in a full range of motion. Tuck again. And last one. And there it is. That is the chiropractic adjustment that really helped to get to the root of her causes, or the root of her problems, I should say, and correct the issues with the headaches, the neck pain, the shoulder pain, the radiation going down the arm. It's that simple. So if this is something that you're suffering from, A, let us know if you are a patient of ours so that we're on the same page. But also, if it's somebody watching this that's never been to our office, never been to a chiropractor, or you want more information, definitely reach out to us so that we can help you in any way possible. It all starts with that initial examination and digging deeper. Thanks a lot, guys.